It is a brand new week. It is the 20th, that is the 22nd of April. You're most welcome. You're watching us from to the Kokoliriko live. It is, you will be also knowing some of the stories that really from wherever you are choosing to watch us from. We say it's a great pleasure having you on this early morning, and really for those who are still in bed, the cock has already rod. The sun is already rising, so that means you need to also leave that bed and step out and to go start hustling for your daily needs. And it's right from Friday, so start the Friday. I will also really be hinted here on Monday. That is why we also really choose to start off the day maybe with some of the stories that happened right over the weekend. But nonetheless, you are most welcome as we start off the show together with you. And remember, you can also really still be part of the show by only dropping your comments on our various comment section, maybe by telling us, first of all, your name and maybe where you're watching us from and what you think about our topics. And really, over the weekend, one of the biggest stories are really amongst the members of the public. This is and really so many people have also already said a number of things here and there about disappointments, and this is actually to assist the office of the RDC, stroke RCC in there, and the resident district commissioners. Remember, they do a lot of work as head of security, and we to see them also being very, very much involved in several government projects. And now West Nile also really has received the number of these deputy stroke assistant RCC, stroke RDCs, and really one of the notable names who was actually on the list is Richard Matua, who was actually been appointed as assistant RCC, that is for Rural Central Division. And this actually raised so many people because many people thought that this was also really something that was to do with reshufflement. And really many people said a lot of issues here and there. And now we also did see Terego as well and Maracha receiving these assistant RCCs. And we did see Munduli Rose, who is actually with Chamber of Commerce, who is very, very much vibrant there, being appointed as the assistant RCC. That's the one for district and this also raised a number of questions among the members of the public who are saying, why must this be appointed at a time where we are complaining about money, and this money is actually money, taxpayers' money, which is going to be using and facilitating these people. And remember, these are going to be working as assistants to these offices of the RDCs, RCCs, and this is actually in a bid to improve, that is maybe on the performance of the RCC's office. But really, we also did see a number of our colleagues that this is also really maybe the journalist fraternity, where we did see our own, that is for former the FM News editor and producer, who is now the station manager for, that is for radio, that is Mr. Mananu Bruno Ubomba, also really getting himself being appointed in there. We also did see the BS5 personal assistant, Mr. Owachuku Donald, appointed deputy RDCs for, that is for Zombo and maybe district response, respectively there. And the details of this will be, maybe we shall to come and tell us what exactly these new people who have been appointed are going to be doing in these offices. But really this has drawn a number of mixed reactions among the members of the public. I don't know what you think as a viewer, but you too can also really still share your opinions, your ideas on what you think about these appointments. Is it timely? Do we need these appointments? The issue of the appointments is concerned because this looked like, but really we also got to know that this is not reshufflement, this is only to beef up the office of the RCCs. And I believe these are going to be assisted in doing the activities of these RDCs. And I believe this is the right way to go. Maybe you as a viewer could be having a different opinion, because really sometimes these RCCs do a lot of work where it becomes difficult for them to also really tear themselves apart, because you realize that in busy days they are needed in several places and where all of them have to go, and that is why you see them sometimes leaving functions very early because they have to catch up with the rest. But I now believe with maybe the addition of more into these offices, this will also really help cater for that, and this is where we are going to be also really seeing that happening. Maybe, I don't know what you think, you could be having a divergent opinion, but really still that opinion is highly welcomed. And you can tell us what exactly could be going on as far as these appointments is concerned. But really, over the weekend, also really on Friday, we did see Ezamaham Muzamil, the deputy RCC that is in charge of Central Division, also really launching the official, making it official, that is to hold the mega Thanksgiving function That is to appreciate President Yoweri Museveni for his appointment as RCC. According to him, this is actually to appreciate the president for seeing that maybe that strengthened him, and this is also really for appreciating him for the services he's rendering the people of West Nile and for loving the people of West Nile. Maybe let's first get to see and listen to what Ham is exactly saying as far as this appointment is concerned, because definitely it has to come from the horse's mouth, and he is also here to tell us maybe more about this story of the Thanksgiving ceremony and why he wants to really appreciate President Yoweri Museveni for this appointment as a deputy RCC. First of all, he was in Arua district before being transferred to Arua City under Central Division. Maybe let's first get to listen to what he's saying as we come back shortly.
Why we are here is because we are organizing a Thanksgiving ceremony to be graced by His Excellency the President Yoweri Museveni, the President of the Republic of Uganda, who is the chair of NRM party. I was once appointed by His Excellency the President to lead the region as in charge of mobilization for the entire West Nile. I perfected it very well. That's why President was able to win for the entire region. After that, the President, in his wisdom, thought it wisely to also appointed me to lead a project called the IMIOGA. IMIOGA is a presidential initiative to empower people's businesses. I did that work successfully, and the President invested over 15 billion in West Nile, and people were able to get this money. As reaching 2022 March, I also saw my name on the news that I was appointed the deputy RDC of Arua district. And then later I was transferred to Arua City. I said, my God, thank you, the President of the Republic of Uganda, for entrusting me all of this responsibility. Now, having seen all this, I said there is something unique. Maybe His Excellency the President has seen in me, that he has kept on appointing me in a different responsibility, in different capacities. Therefore, I should thank His Excellency the President for all good things he has done to me and to the region at large. So I consulted a few friends of mine. I said, guys, I think there is something we need to say. At least, President, thank you so much for what you have done to the life of Izamaham Izamil and the people of West Nile. If there are some people out there who have not realized this, maybe they are still sleeping. But President has not done for me alone. There are so many people who have been appointed in the region. If they have not thought about that, maybe in the near future, they are still preparing, they will also do the same. We want to accommodate all of them in this function to make sure that jointly we thank His Excellency the President for having good heart to also support the people of West Nile.
Is concerned, and this will be going on at Arua Primary School playgrounds, where the head of the state, that is expected this function, and really this is also really sub-region who actually come on ground and give them a this they are really without also really the necessary support, and that is why they need the president to come on ground and also really talk to them, and that is why they will also really maybe talk to them, because recently that is also really maybe sit with them, and that is why they are looking forward to also really seeing him coming on ground, and that is definitely something also really we are going to be also seeing very soon, because when he comes, definitely, which is next month or some few days from now, we also expect also the head of the state also really to listen, because that the youths who are the going these are challenges that the youths are facing currently in Central Division. And we're also seeing the criminality at its peak, and that is where these youths are saying, much as people are blaming them, they also have issues which they want to front to the president, and the women also as well are saying they want to meet the president because they have a number of concerns. It is them who are normally rallying behind the president, but after going through, they hardly see the tangible benefits of why they need to also really continue supporting the Nigerian government. That is why when the president comes, they also really want him to have a listening ear where they feel they need to also address their concerns. And according to Ham, when these people asked that question, Ham actually came out and said he also really looks
why we are here.
Also really be at the end of the day meeting the president, where they will also really be maybe raising their concerns, and they expect the president also to address these concerns, and that is as far as that issue is also really concerned. And that is definitely something where we are going to be leaving that story at as we bounce back with more other stories. But really a quick reminder, over the weekend we did see a number of accidents also really happening across our roads, where we did also see a number of lives lost. But for those who really lost their lives over the weekend, we say may their souls rest in the eternal peace. And for the ones whose relatives also really did die in these accidents, we say may the Almighty comfort you during this trial moment, because over the weekend this is where we also saw a number of road crashes, a number of road accidents also really happening on the way roads as well. And I believe these are things that we did see also happening right across the country. And really I want to remind you also, we did see an accident along Mabira. This actually claimed the life of a UPDF soldier. In Maracha, we also did see one where police has actually raised the information about the same as far as the cause of the accident is concerned. And this is an accident on IE Bridge. This is the Maracha District investigating an accident occurred involving a number but that motorcycle red in color. This number, that is MD2 stroke 18 86050 also, where we did punch your email address. That is meeting or what.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023, live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right. And really, we did so sorry about that short commercial break. Really, it was unplanned, but this is due to technical challenges. But we are back and fully also to give you what is happening in the world of current affairs as we continue with that issue of the accident that did happen on Maratsa Road. And this was involving two passengers who were on a border motorcycle. This is a Bajaj as they were on their way from Maratsa district, that is en route to Arua city. Unfortunately, they met their death actually along Ai Bridge after knocking that guardrail. And really, I want to caution people, let's be very, very much vigilant as we are on these roads, because issues of overspeeding may also lead us to our deaths there. And that is why we need to also really avoid overspeeding while we're on this road. I know the road is very nice, but really that does not mean we should maybe overspeed, because once we are involved in overspeeding, once we lose control, definitely we may also really lose our lives as well. That is why we need to also avoid as much as possible issues related to overspeeding that would also lead us to maybe meeting our deaths. And that is why we also need to put that discussion aside. Now let's head into Kampala, where recently the president of Uganda, His Excellency Yoweri Museveni, recently also really asked the traders, the striking, these are the ones who have been striking over the IFRI system, where they have been claiming that this system is quite expensive, and really see him actually meeting the traders on Friday and really asked them to resume work after also meeting with the leadership there. And this is something also we didn't see him maybe talking about. And remember, recently the traders maybe in Kampala have closed their shops, and this strike maybe also really spread to the other areas. We also did see the strike moving to that areas of Masaka. We also did see it moving as much as far as Mbali, and also really other areas. Also really, this is because the traders are saying the IFRI system is making it very, very much expensive for them. They are paying high taxes under the IFRI system compared to the previous. Maybe that is why they were also really striking against it. We also did see these people also really raising concern about the issue of that is how difficult it is to also really pay their taxes under the IFRI system, and these are all where they raise their concerns. And really, I believe that is also something that could be true, because it could be happening maybe in Kampala. The traders of West Nile as well would be suffering from the same initiative, and now President has asked URA to suspend that is relations to activities of the IFRI system, where people have been forced to pay taxes, where the issues of harassment have been, and he asked the traders to continue fulfilling their obligations of paying taxes, because it is their duty as citizens to pay taxes, as operations that is in relation to the IFRI system have to be put on hold as further studies and investigations to the matter continue. That is to ascertain where the weakness of the system is. That is as far as that system maybe could be addressing those challenges. And I really want to maybe ask your opinion on what you think maybe about the idea of President suspending the trade, maybe the strike, and calling upon the traders to resume work, and as really as well also halting the application that is for the IFRI system from being used in there to pay taxes, because the traders have been maybe striking over this same matter. And really, I don't know what you think as the viewer. You can also really share your opinions with us as far as this IFRI system works. Do you think it is the best way to go, or do you think it has its own weaknesses, and how best can we improve maybe the use of this IFRI system is also really maybe where you can also drop your comment as far as that issue is concerned. And really, we will also be going through that comment as we continue with the show. Really, I also want to remind you of the issue of the police postponement payment, that is the recruitment for the PPCs, which have also been maybe also already postponed till further notice. And really, this is something also we did see the news receiving yesterday, because this is not the very first time we are seeing these interviews being postponed. And recently, as many people also maybe vying for this opportunity, they have again been postponed. And yesterday we did see police also issuing a statement about the same matter, that is the postponement of police PPC interviews. That is also something we did see also happening, where with police also did say it is to inform all candidates who are shortlisted for the interviews, that's for the probationary police constables, that the interviews also, that exercise has been postponed until further notice, and that date and program indicating that is the date. And the place where the interviews will be taking place will also be communicated later using all the media houses. And police urge the people to stay calm and avoid conmen as well as masqueraders with false promise intended to also defraud the suspecting members of the public. Also, that is also something we did see the Directorate of Human Resource Administration, the Uganda Police, also really issuing a statement on that, because many people had been waiting for this opportunity, even right from Arua, where they were vying to actually take over this maybe these positions. But to their dismay now, these interviews are postponed again for another time, because we did see these interviews being postponed the other time, and now we are seeing also them being postponed. I don't know what you think about that. Definitely also really that could be also really maybe a challenge as far as that issue is concerned. But really I don't know what you think about that same matter. Also really that would be a very, very good one. But really, as we continue with the show over the weekend, also really we did see over 400 students graduating. That's at Olia Industrial Hub in Zombo District. This is Najuman District. Also really this is something we did see also really happening in there, as well as we also saw a number of them actually graduating from Zombo. But really all these are students who got the skills, and I really want to say maybe these skills are going to be used maybe to also really help their lives out. But really let's first connect to see what happened maybe during the graduation ceremony. That would be also really be a very, very good one, so that we also understand what exactly happened during the graduation ceremony as we bounce back shortly. Okay, as we move on, we shall be giving you that video later on. But really, I want to remind you of these graduation ceremonies that are really taking place after these students graduating. Where do they go next? These are the questions also people could be asking themselves out there, because usually people ask themselves that we get the skills. We have the skills, but we don't have the tools. And this is actually something we also did see a number of questions being raised about the same, because some of these youths gone to school and have got the necessary maybe styles and got the necessary skills, but really to apply them without the skill, without the tools, it becomes very, very much difficult for them. And that is why at the end of the day it becomes very, very much difficult for them to also really apply these skills. And I believe first of all to also train these students, and then secondly giving them the necessary equipment plus money is also really something that would be very, very good one. Because in Zombo we did hear that they were actually given 100,000 as transport fund, which other people thought it was for buying these tools. But really this is as far as that issue is concerned, because it's a government program where students are selected from at least 25 years, it could be 25 upper local government also to represent in this school here. And that is something we did see them actually also being graduating from. And now let's first get maybe how that the video maybe of how the activities did go on during that graduation ceremony, as maybe we get to listen to what the students and stakeholders are saying as far as the issue of using the skills they have attained in this maybe in this institute is concerned, because this is a typical government program that is also to empower, that is aiming at skilling the youth. People do not also really sit idle and maybe complain of poverty, and these are all to empower the youth. And let's forget to see of what is happening right in there as we also continue with the show later on.
There was excitement and joy on Friday 19th April 2024 as 450 graduated after undergoing a training for 6 months in vocational skills at Olia Industrial Hub in Ajumani District. The Presidential Industrial Hub is an initiative from the State House aimed to enhance abilities of vocational skills to youths across the country. Speaking during the graduation ceremony, the Resident District Commissioner for Obongi, Samuel Hashaka Pimbaza, said the training is very important because it makes one to be self-employed. He further calls on the youths to make good use of the training and desist from bad acts.
These training programs are very, very important in as far as skills training is concerned. Very important in that we are getting job creators, not job seekers. And this is the way to go. Like one of the young ladies said, that don't sit on your skills, don't sit on your talents. You put them in practice to be able to earn. Because these people you are seeing here, it is a very good occasion and a good program whereby we are having the young people being skilled. Through this training, people are given skills, and once they are given skills, you should go and put them into practice. And already there are those who came out previously. We are seeing a lot happening. And you know, these are hands-on skills. And I want to appeal to the young people in our region, in the West Nile, in the Madisa region, that please, 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 be job creators. Avoid going for useful things like eating mairunji, smoking opium, engaging in gambling, and many other bad things.
Dr. Didi George Boka, Member of Parliament for Obongi County in Obongi District, and also Secretary Publicity Madi Parliamentary Caucus, says The number of youths is overwhelming and calls on the young people to embrace such skilling opportunities. Dr. Didi George Boka also requested for more fundings towards the youth program.
Few challenges remain that need to be addressed. One is that we still have a number of young people out there that are not picked interest in this program. We call upon them, whether educated or uneducated or semi-educated, to pick interest in this program. The third cohort admission will start soon. Two, for those who have been skilled already, one of the challenges that we are really facing is toolkits for startup. We look forward to government partners and communities, including the families, to support these young graduates with productive tools that will help them be able to apply the knowledge and skills that they have acquired.
Bongo Min Bala Rogers, the youth chairperson at Jumani District, appreciated the government and advised the beneficiaries to remain focused and use the skills well by training other youths in the community.
As they're going out, my advice to them is to remain focused, courageous, and continue doing things for themselves, because the things that they have attained here, if they don't practice it, it will be of no use. And it's also disseminate information to the rest of their siblings, because the next project, the next impact will be there, and in case it comes, invitations will be sent, application forms will be sent to the district and from the district to the various sub-counties where they come from, and this will be important to tell their siblings about the benefit of the skills, the knowledge that they have learned from here.
Ms. Jane Barieke, the State House Controller in charge of Presidential Industrial Hub, advised the youths who graduated to always possess high level of discipline to achieve more in the future.
The first selling factor is discipline. When you have discipline, you can get a job. When you have discipline, your things can be sold. When you have discipline, even your parents can tolerate you up to the extent of getting you capital.
The government, through Industrial Hub, initiated basic vocational skills through training youths in various fields of skills, that is, leather.
All right, where next after obtaining the skills is the question that should be lingering in your minds and in their minds as well, because after obtaining the skills, application of these skills is very, very much important, and really without the tools, it may be very difficult for them to actually maybe apply these skills, and that is why we also need to empower them, and this responsibility needs not to be left in the hands of government alone, and maybe as parents also really as well, let's ensure that we buy the necessary tools for these students maybe who have graduated from this institute here, and that is also really how they will be at the end of the day applying these skills that they've obtained in this school. And I really believe that is also really something that could be a very good one for them, because after obtaining the skills, that is a lifetime skill where they will also not be knocking doors, that is for applications, that may be interviews, but really for them to also get these necessary skills, I believe is the way to go. And then at the end of the day, we also really expect them to also really now apply these skills rather than sitting idle maybe in the trading centers. We do not expect people to be sitting in the trading centers at this time round after obtaining these skills. Let's now connect quickly to the neighbors of Moyo district, that's the Juman district. From neighbors of Juman district, that's Moyo. Also maybe to see how excitement is with the construction of the market, where the locals in Moyo district, we allowed the town council and authorities for ensuring that the market is ready for vendors to occupy, and this was revealed during the launch of the new market that's in Moyo town council. And really we did see also really a number of people getting excited about the same, and really this is something also we expect now to be also addressing the challenge of street vending, because street vending really is a great concern. And with the construction of the market, we now expect people to be taking advantage of this facility, where we do not expect to see people in running battles, just like what we did see in Arua City a few days ago. But really, I want to call upon the vendors now to take advantage of this also really at this facility. That would also really be quite good for them. But really, let's first connect to Moyo and see how people are excited about the construction of this main facility. This is the main market where we are also going to be expecting people maybe to take advantage of, where our mothers, our children, maybe the youth also need to engage themselves in trade, because this is where people are going to be employing, maybe getting employed for themselves. But let's first connect to see what is happening in there, that is with the relation of the completion of the main market in Moyo.
The main market that had been under construction since last year has finally been cleared to be used by the vendors after taking close to a year to be completed. Honorable Chandiga Caesar, the chairman local council 3 Moyo Town Council, urged the public in Moyo district to impress the market, saying they will not allow anyone to play around within the town. He adds that they have planned to demolish the old market so as to create space for a tax park, which will start next week, and therefore urge the vendors who have not relocated into the new market to do so over the weekend.
So I want to request the people of Moyo Town and the entire Moyo district, let us impress the market. Please, let us impress the market. Those of you, we will not leave anyone to play around in the town. We want to drive all the businesses related to market to the new market. From next week, we will start the process of demolishing the old market. That is from next week. There's already a report from the engineer and the health department. If it is complete, we'll be demolishing the old market. The old market is now, according to the new plan, it is for small cars. It is a parking, more of a park, a small park which has been designated by the new plan of the town. So we shall embark on that immediately, and that is where my attention now will be shift. We'll shift to having a modern, a taxi park. Instead of taxis parking on the roadsides and so on, or in the middle of the town, we now want to drive them to a designated place.
Rashid Mawa, one of the vendors who deal in second-hand clothes and shoes, lauded authorities responsible for the market, saying this is a clear sign that Moyo district is now developing.
Very, very happy. Also, the market, I'm seeing now development in Moyo district. I also want to thank us, and also the district members for what they will have done for us.
Mrs. Malia Mastella, a customer in the market, thanked Moyo Town Council for ensuring that the market is apportioned in an orderly manner, saying this has eased the stress of looking for items from different parts of the town, since vendors who deal in the same commodities have been allocated specific places, which has reduced the problem of time wastage while in the market. Honorable Kinya Harit, the councillor representing the older persons in Moyo Town Council, said the opening of the market is a true manifestation of development within the district and lauded the government for the initiative.
I'm so happy of us having a new market, and that shows that Moyo is really now progressing.
The construction of Moyo Main Market is an initiative of the government of Uganda under the Uganda Support for Municipal Infrastructure Development USMID program. The construction.
We expect people to be using people need to take proper care of this market, and really they need to utilize this market fully rather than also really engaging in street vending, which would at the end of the day also really put them in trouble. That's with the relevant authorities, for instance, security, and the leaders also there. That would also not be very, very good also. And that is why we need to take advantage of this market, and really the city authority and the district authority of Moyo also need to come out clearly to explain to people the dangers of street vending, also why they need to take advantage of this facility. And remember, conmen are going to be taking advantage of them also really, with, who are going to be coming and telling people that they are going to give them maybe stores and maybe space in this market. And this is why people need to be very, very much vigilant also really, because issues of conmen is really becoming a challenge. And in Arua district, we also did see a conman conning teachers of Ugandan shillings, that is 35 million also already, after now he is being apprehended. But really this is where people need to be very, very much vigilant and cautious of what is happening, because the territorial police of Arua district have arrested and suspected the conman for defrauding staffs of Logri girls in Arua district. And this happened at the school in Logri sub-county, Arua district, in September, but was reported to police, that is on 16th of January 2024 at 1 p.m. by the headmistress of Logri girls secondary school, Apio Lilian Atako, a female age that's 54 years of Lubara tribe, a resident of Obichakuvu parish, Logri sub-county. The arrested suspect is Aja Victor Adam, male adult, aged that's 43 years of Lubara by tribe, a self-employed by resident of Gatis Galuga Bukaya village, that's in Katabi Town Council, that is Wakiso district, and it's alleged that in the month of September,
the suspect also really defrauded teachers of that money or of that amount. Also really on reaching headmistress, that is a teacher's office, the suspect identified himself as a staff working with the Honorable Minister for State and Local Government, that's Minister of Education, Dr. John Chrysostomus Muyingo, while in head teacher's office, that is also really where he actually called these teachers worth of those amounts that we talked about, and said that they can also be given schools, also head teachers. And that is also something we did see, and he further said that the best 4 students, that's in SS, would be offered government sponsorship at any public university, and the head teacher welcomed the idea also really, that is after also really believing in what he said. This is from the instruction. The head teacher called for a staff meeting, as well as that also the same could be delivered to the staffs, and it was found out that the 31 teachers, 3 nurses, and also really 1 lab attendant with the school desperately needed the service from the ministry, and they actually offer that money there. And the suspect also demanded that's 1 million Ugandan shillings from each of the 35 staffs in order to also really be given these services. And that is why people need to be very, very much maybe serious, because people are going to be coming to you. I really don't know why, if somebody wants to help you, you must also already pay money. This is a challenge where I always also reject maybe some offers, because you are saying you want to help me, but really you also already asking for money from me. Then me and you, who needs the help of the other? That is where it becomes very, very much maybe ironic, because I need your help, but you're asking for money from me. Why would I also now trust you? That is already where people need to be very, very much seriously with that. And the alleged suspect demanded 1 million Ugandan shillings. That's from the 35 staffs in order to consider them for promotion and to become teachers, and those on government payroll to be considered also really, maybe those who are not on payroll to also be considered to become on payroll. And since the victims were desperate, they looked for the money and handed over to the suspect, who promised them by the end of December 2023 they would receive messages as per their demands. And however, upon receiving the money, the suspect stopped picking phone calls from the head teacher and later switched off his phone. No number, that is the number which also really has been 078403445, which made the head teacher also to suspect that they have been defrauded by the suspect. Also, that is also something we did see. And accordingly, she reported to Arua Central Police Station in Arua District of Dumi to file a case against that man. Also, that is for defrauding. Also, them there, and that is something also I want to caution people now to be very, very much vigilant of, because usually people are going to be coming to take advantage of them, and that would also really be very, very much bad for them. And really, I want to call upon now people to also really be very, very much serious, because really, somebody needs your help. But definitely you need help from somebody, but the person is asking for money from you, and that is, but really you believe in them, and that is why people need to also really be avoiding issues of being desperate, because if you're desperate, you're going to be taking any risk, and these are things that may be also really be affecting you. And victims were all summoned, and assessments have been recorded from them, and really the exhibit of the money has also been taken, and the police have made inquiries into the matter, and the Road District, and the case has now been filed under Road District, and really that is information also we did see happening in the world of crime there. But really my humble appeal to the members of the public is let them be very, very much cautious of maybe who is going to be coming to them on this maybe several government projects that could be also really maybe coming for them. And that is why people need to be also really very, very much cautious of what is happening, and that is to them. And I really believe this at the end of the day may also really help address these issues that we are talking about. People being defrauded, people being conned. Really, this is happening even right now, where people are being also advertising maybe for these jobs. Recently, we also did see government entities coming out to warn against fraudsters who may also maybe disguise themselves as maybe staffs of these various authorities that are maybe recruiting, and that is why people need to also really avoid those issues. And moving on, happening on the past this morning, we did see accidents also happening. I remember earlier on I told you about how accidents were also overwhelmed over the weekend, and the UPDF major has been killed. That is in the Mabira accident. These are stories, some of the stories we are seeing this morning, where a UPDF soldier at the rank of major who was trying to overtake a line of vehicles in Mabira Forest died on spot when his vehicle was involved in a hard collision with another overcoming trailer. And this is according to information we did also receive from police. And according to Sezibwa Police, Regional Police spokesperson, that is SP Helen Butoto, the fatal accident also happened at around 1 p.m. on Friday at Sangamabira, near the new picnic site along the Kampala-Jinja Highway in there. And it's alleged that the Toyota Land Cruiser, that's V8, registration number, that's UBQ 424, driven by Major Habib Nsamba Katakibire from Kampala to Jinja side overtook vehicles, and in the process collided with Huhowo trailer registration number that is UBP, which was coming from Jinja. This is according to information from Toto. And he said the collision also really, where the Toyota Land Cruiser that is rolled over, knocked another vehicle, Toyota Premier, its number that's UBP 411L, driven by a police officer attached to where you got a police post. Also, that is also really where we did see this accident, also really affecting many people there. And police said Major Nsamba died on spot, while the driver of the trailer, Muhammad Kasoi, sustained injuries and currently admitted that's at Kaolo Hospital for treatment. And this is also something we did see happening in there. Bruto added that the deceased body has been taken, that's Kaolo Hospital mortuary, for postmortem, while the 3 vehicles have been taken, that's Mabira Police Station yard, pending inspection in there. And that's also something we did see happening on in the world of accidents over the weekend, because we did see a number of them also really involving several people over the weekend in there. But really, my humble appeal to the members of the public is that while we're on these roads, let's avoid also tendencies of overspeeding, let's avoid tendencies of wrong driving, because issues coupled with overtaking is where we're also witnessing a number of these head collisions coming up, or maybe from, because recently we did see accidents also really happening on the Entebbe Highway, where vehicles we also seen maybe knocking, maybe falling at, that is at the street lights. But really we are saying maybe something needs to be done, because maybe if at all these accidents are happening across the country, what is the Directorate of Traffic doing? And this is where we also need to see them coming out on board, and maybe to see to that the drivers who are driving on these roads, first of all, do not overspeed. Then secondly, maybe these are people who have the right qualifications to drive on these roads, because sometimes these people who are driving on these roads do not even have the licenses. That is where we also seeing accidents becoming very, very much rampant. And I believe sensitization of the drivers on the issues of overspeeding would also help address challenges of overspeeding. And really, I believe that is something that needs to be done, because if that is not done so, people may also continue to go on with tendencies of overspeeding, and which would also be very, very much bad for them. And I believe at the end of the day, we may also really see number of lives being lost there. And I really think which may not be very, very good, but I believe these are things that needs to be done. And I believe at the end of the day, these are things that if we talk about, we may also see maybe a drop in the cases of accidents on these roads. And over the weekend also, we did see a number, the historical event. This is according to the Rwandans who were living in Uganda while they were celebrating the genocide, and this marked 30 years after the genocide happened in Rwanda, where the Tutsi also really did see themselves being killed in there. And this is things that we did see happening, and this is also where we did see them moving to another of these historical sites to maybe recall and remember their loved ones who died in this accident, maybe this tragic instance where we did see a number of people being killed. And remembering the genocide invokes, that's a profound sense of duty among nations to also really uphold peace and unity, and that is one thing also we need to also embrace. And more recently, we also did see the reconciliation drive that is between Lango, Westland, and Acholi, and these are all depending to the history. And I really want to say this history could have happened elsewhere, and in Rwanda we did also see this happening. And I believe reconciliation is also key for those people to also really put those differences aside. And 30 years down the road, the wounds inflicted on humanity in Rwanda back in 1994 still feels festered by both the past and contemporary generations across the world. Also, hence a formidable base to learn from the worst human atrocity happening in there, where people were chopped using pangas and really their bodies dumped into water bodies. And up to now, some of the Rwandan nationals don't eat fish, because according to information we also did receive during that time, people also were eating fish that had buttons, that fish that had nails. That means that fish fed on people, and that is why some of the Rwandan nationals up to date don't eat on fish. And really that is why people need to also avoid tendencies of maybe disunity, because we are one. The woods that we create now may also live forever, because really 30 years down the road, people still are remembering their loved ones. Really, this is something I must say will also really not maybe disappear in the minds of these people, and really that is how far and maybe how bad it is. I really want to say people need to from these tendencies, and at the end of the day, that would also really be very, very bad. And really to reflect on the past mistakes that would perhaps be avoided. Hundreds of dignitaries led by Rwanda High Court Commissioner, that is a High Commission in Uganda, Rwandan community in Uganda, the diplomatic corps have embraced the 30th commemoration, that is of 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. That is Golo genocide memorial site, that's in Mpigi district, and remains of some 4,000 victims of the ethnic killings were laid to rest, that's at Golo. And remembering the the genocide invokes that profound memories among these people, and really that is also really where they also need to talk about these issues, because these are things that will also not be disappearing in the minds of these people. And really remembering the victims of such atrocity recollects that is the humanitarian. Also, that is why they need to also take advantage and also to talk about issues of maybe preserving peace, because if you really, we are the same people, I really believe these are the same tribes. If you really look at Rwanda, you realize that this is a country that has mainly 3 tribes, and these are the Tutsi, Hutu, and Twa who actually contribute. And we are also saying the Twa contribute, that's 1%, but the majority of the tribes are the Tutsi and the Hutu. And really, this is also really where we didn't see themselves being chopped using pangas. I really want to say these are things that we need to put aside. And now let's champion the issues of peace, that is for further development. And if you really see what is happening in Rwanda today, you realize that Rwanda has grown very, very fast. And really, I believe this is also where they have also really put their differences aside, because today, these are things that need to be talked about, because really, if you realize maybe these issues, if we don't put them aside, issues that happened in the past, for those who committed the crimes have gone, but really the coming generations also really need to put that aside, because if that is not something that we not talk about, then we may not see intermarriages happening among these tribes, which would also really be very, very much bad. And in 2023, UNESCO's World Heritage Committee added 4 genocide memorial sites that in Rwanda that is the list of World Heritage Sites. And after the 15th of the genocide, also 15th anniversary of the genocide, 3 memorial sites were created. That's in Uganda at Lambu, Kasenero, and Golo. And listing a memorial site will enable the entire world to learn more about and draw lessons from the history that's of the genocide, which also reclaimed the number of lives in Rwanda there. And listing also really is something we also really want to say needs to go on. And while with years rolling down, the victims of the genocide have also lived to share the worst experience of what exactly happened in there. And really that is already something we did see our minister, that's Minister Olero, also already talking about the same issue, and where she did say we recognize the survivors' resilience and willingness to forgive as we mark the 30th commemoration that's of the genocide. And really that is something where we did see Minister Olero also already adding her voice on. And to avoid a repeat of the past, dignitaries and stress that genocide happens when humanity's moral compass fails and hateful ideologies are also proliferated, and state-sanctioned demonization of the entire group is allowed. And in order to also really secure a future with peace, unity, and dignity, we must also firmly speak out about that is all forms of racism and discrimination against the root causes of conflict and also the violence, and that is swift action to prevent also such instances. And the significant event under the banner of the Buka 30 is a call to Ugandans and Africans at large to affirm that is the unwavering support to the prevention and fight against genocide, and also really ensure that it never happens again. And really, you realize so many maybe stakeholders also really contributed to this. You realize the leaders also really played a great role in fueling this genocide, where we also did see media also really playing a great role, where we also saw some of the media houses in Rwanda way back also really promoting this genocide and saying, also making it a call to erase the entire generation of the Tutsi. And that is also really something we did see happening in there, where pangas were bought for this people to also really go on and chop the entire Tutsi, where they would also give simple tasks. They would say, pronounce this word, where if you fail, that is already a kill for you, because some of the tribes also they wouldn't maybe pronounce that. And maybe if they look at your color, you have that type of nose, maybe you have the same color, maybe you are black or brown, they will just maybe categorize you under that tribe, and that will be your end. People will chop you using pangas. And really, so many movies today have been released about the same issue, but really I believe that portrays a bad image, and that is why we need to put those differences aside. And such movies also really keep the grudge at large, and that is why people need to desist from these tendencies. And I really want to call upon people also to desist as the cases are being investigated up to date, because these cases don't die. We have seen over the years these cases also really being talked about, and really want to say that is much as far as that issue of the Rwanda genocide is concerned, we also need to talk about that issue. If at all maybe we don't talk about peace, because issues about peace is where we also need to talk about, because peace is very, very much key. Because if we do not talk about peace, then definitely we may also really see maybe ourselves getting involved in those cases in there. And moving on, Museveni appoints Dr. Biabinyima, Executive Director of Mulago Hospital. Is also really some story that we are seeing on the past this morning. And President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has appointed senior consultant of the radiologist, that is Dr. Rosemary Kusaba Bianyima, as the Executive Director of Mulago National Referral Hospital. The administrator of the facility confirmed, and Dr. David Nwamanya, the hospital administrator, said the appointment followed that's the advice of the Health Service Commission, and as far as that issues are concerned, now that means that Mulago has an executive director, and really what are we expecting out of the director? These are the questions that should be also asking, you should be asking yourself, and really also really what we are waiting to see from that facility, because Mulago is actually the main national referral hospital today, where referral cases from maybe the other regional referral hospitals have been referred to, and this is where we also want to see services under the new leadership also really being very, very much improved in there. And Dr. Byanyume was serving as the executive director following the interdiction of his predecessor, that is Dr. Buterena Byarugaba. And now she has been fully appointed, and Dr. Buterena was interdicted. That's in March 2022, when the State House Monitoring Unit launched an investigation against him over allegations of abuse of office, embezzlement, and causing financial loss, and fraudulent false accounting. These are cases which we did see also being put against the gentleman there. And as the investigation was ongoing, on the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Health, Dr. Diana Atwine, interdicted Byarugaba, and Dr. Byanyima, who had been serving as deputy executive director, was placed as the executive director to serve in there. In the 2 years, Dr. Byanyima has served in as the executive director, and one of the milestones has been successful kidney transplant that was launched in the facility for the first time in the country. And really, I don't know what you think about that, but really we are going to be heading for a short commercial breather as we bounce back shortly. But you should be keeping your comments coming through. For those of you streaming us online on Facebook, keep the comments coming, as well as for those of you watching us via YouTube this early morning, you can also keep your comments coming, and we shall be going through them in the later hour, which is our second hour, as we bounce back shortly. For now, let's first have this short commercial breather as we bounce back shortly.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on Star Times. Star Times brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your Star Times subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. Star Times, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region. Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right. A short breather to our second hour of the show, which is 8 o'clock, and after 8 o'clock we shall be heading up the hour of 9 a.m. and remember, after 9 a.m. that is when the news bulletin Liberty, that is with Bukulia Lawrence, will be coming through. But as we continue with the show, so many issues have already been discussed on the show, and before we did go for that story, we are discussing issues related to, that is also really Museveni's appointment, that's of Byanyima, that's the executive director of Mulago Hospital, and really these are issues where we also really expect maybe your comment on really what you want her leadership to also really address, and we shall be able to also really go through what you think. But as we continue with the show, let's now head into world of technology and education, where Chambogo University Vice Chancellor calls for policies to regulate, that is artificial intelligence, and this is something also where we are also talking about. And the Vice Chancellor of that is Chambogo University, Professor Eli Katunguka, has called upon the government to introduce policies that regulate the use of artificial intelligence, commonly known as AI, especially in the education sector. And this is something also we did see the Chancellor also really echoing out his voice on. And the third edition, the third edition of the STEAM Festival is slated that to take place, that is at Chambogo University, from April 24th, that is to April 26th, with the aim of bringing, that is, together innovators from different institutions of learning and incorporate, that's world to showcase, that is cutting-edge innovations and technology in which they are involved in. And this call was actually made during the launch of that function. And this is something we did see also where the Vice Chancellor also really making out his call on. And this is something also we expect now technology to be addressed on, because today, if you really look at what is happening with the world of technology, so many people are going to be rendered jobless, because what may be also it may be affecting both positively and negatively. And in the world of education, where somebody just goes in online and types maybe the question, and really without putting a lot of emphasis, just gets whatever he or she wants online there. That is why it may also really affect the education sector very, very much. And that is why there's need for policies to regulate, that is AI, and that is according to Kanduku Katungua there. And the festival is organized under the theme Demystifying Science, Technology and Innovation, that is for community development, and it promises also thought-provoking discussion, interactive exhibits, and workshops also in there. Dr. Savannah Noagaba, the coordinator of STEAM Festival, said this festival will focus on the application and implications of these applications, intelligence, in education also system there. And this is something also we expect maybe answers for, because really, if you to look at that, definitely how is this going to be impacting, that is on the education sector of this country. I really want to say it is definitely going to be impacting negatively, because issues of artificial intelligence are coupled with the issues that we are talking about today may also really be affecting the education system very, very much rampant in there. And I believe that is the way to go, if at all we are also ready to witness that development there. And Mr. Nwagaba said the festival will also provide a platform to seek innovative ways to reduce fossil fuel dependence as a solution and as an alternative to also maybe using the other forms of energy. Really today, I really want to say maybe using the other forms of energy, for instance, gas and electricity, would also really be quite a good one. And really believe with that, then definitely we may also really see maybe the progress we're talking about. And the university has also started a new research hub that is for astrophysics, which leverages, that is, satellite data from the country's recently installed satellite. And I really want to say these are issues that we are talking about. Technology, much as technology is good, because the fact is that we cannot run away from technology, and technology is here to stay. But really the negative repercussions, for instance, job losing, is a reality also really, where issues that maybe work that could be done by 10 with the issues of artificial intelligence, one person is going to be doing it, and maybe nobody can do it because the programmer just sits there and does his work. And that is where it may also be very, very much, maybe dangerous, because you realize that people are going to be doing that. Really, it may be very, very much difficult for them. And the Vice Chancellor said, since the new curriculum has introduced aspects of astrophysics in the lower secondary, they are also working towards training more astrophysics, that is physics, in the country. And really that is also something we did see happening in there. And this is something also we want to maybe I'll have answers too, because if you look at that, that definitely also really is another course that we also really want to also echo our voices on, because if you really look at that, definitely you will realize that so many issues are not going rightly, and really want to put that discussion aside. That is also in relation to astrophysics, maybe innovations, because really if you look at what is happening with innovation that is in artificial intelligence, today so many things that maybe people who were working as delivery agents cannot be working anymore, because their work can be done by drones. you just put something and give it to a drone. The drone takes and delivers, and maybe just delivers it to where the thing is supposed to go. And that is maybe as far as issues of artificial intelligence is concerned. We look at people who are working as office messengers. Today you hardly find them because there's no need for them to drop the letters now, because the letters to be dropped nowadays it's just through email, and that is how dangerous it is, because people are earning as maybe office messengers today are finding it very much difficult to continue working in those offices, because their works can now be done by secretaries, because in case where there's need maybe for this office, maybe these documents to be dropped. And that is why I also want to echo out my voice on the same issue. And really moving on, we did see recently a wrangle between Ginger Muslims and the hospital administration over land. Now the confirmation has come out clearly as Muslims lose the land battle, that is with Ginger Hospital in there. And Uganda Land Commission has ordered Uganda Muslim Spring Council to vacate the disputed land with Ginger Regional Referral Hospital. The 4-acre land is located, that's in Nile Avenue, stretching that's from plot 31 to plot 39, that is in Ginger City, adjacent to Ginger Referral Hospital and Ginger Muslim Cemetery. And also the Uganda Muslim Spring Council has erected a perimeter fence around the contested land, in addition that is to utilizing it through different activities, including the meetings, and recently also the Eid prayers also going on at the same facility. And speaking journalists on Saturday, Ginger Referral Hospital Chairperson Board of Governors, Dr. Charles Mukisa, and all said Muslims were ordered to vacate the land following a meeting also really between them there. And I really want to say maybe justice could be given to the hospital administration, because really if the land at all belongs to the hospital administration, then definitely the hospital administration needs to take it up, as well as they can develop it. And recently we also did see the land being given, that is the Muslim community. Then who exactly owns this land? That definitely tells us maybe why there has been a contest over this land here. Now the final owner has been identified, and then we expect services, and maybe we also expect now this facility to be redeveloped, and so that we also get services from there. And I really want to caution now maybe further fights which need not to be also really taking place on the same facility. And I really want to say we are expecting justice, and now we are expecting peace to reign, where we expect the leaders now to work with the hospital administration maybe in addressing this issue, if at all the land belongs to the hospital, because really we may also really see this issue getting out of hand, where we may also see bloodshed, which would be very, very much unfortunately there. And Dr. Mukisa added that the hospital was instructed to go ahead with its plans that of redeveloping the land, as efforts have already been now given to them. And meanwhile, Friday's meeting was also reportedly attended by the representatives of Uganda Muslim Spring Council, Ginger Referral Hospital, and Ministry of Health, and Ginger City Council also in there. This is where the land was also now given to hospital administration, and hospital administration say they want to utilize the land for construction of facilities, including that's the regional blood bank, cardiac center and dialysis center, and also a cancer treatment unit. And this is where also they want to use that land for. And really maybe if the Muslims can also keep up on that land, because these are services that are going to be maybe rendered to all people irrespective of the religion, and really Muslims are going to be maybe getting these facilities from there. And that is why also this land needs to be developed, even if it belongs maybe the Muslims, let the Muslims also give up and say Lillah. And this is where also really want to say we want to see that land being fully developed in there. And in this regard, that is Sheikh Ahmed Adib Soga earlier said after the meeting, he also told journalists that he will release the official statement after the meeting with the Mufti of Uganda, His Eminence that's Mubaje, as they are still preparing for a final decision that's from the headquarters. And Uganda Muslim Spring Council say they want to use the land also to establish a prayer center in that facility, and also already that is where it will also be helping the Muslims. And that is also where I want to put that discussion aside, and really you can also share your opinions and as to why people must be fighting over these issues of the land. And that is also something that you also need to can share your views and share your opinions on with us, and really as far as that issue is concerned, and what you think that needs to be also done maybe to address the fights that is between the Muslim leaders and the hospital administration, so that we do not see further fights, because these fights, if they continue, definitely we may also see more lives also being lost in there. And let's move away from that. Let's head in some of the stories this morning. 62% of Uganda's forensic experts untrained. This is another story that is shocking, and we are seeing it on the past this morning. And really, I don't know what you think about it, because most of the times when we see a shooting, forensic experts also really rushing to these facilities. But now we are seeing Auditor General also really, we are seeing also really, that is also where we are seeing at least 62% of these people are untrained. And an audit that's of the ongoing, that the director that's of Government Analytical Laboratory has revealed that 23 out of that is the 37 technical staff that in the institute that is meant to provide forensic evidence in mostly criminal matters have also never undergone basic training on that in forensics. Also, that is also something we are seeing very, very much ironic. On the past this morning, only 14 of the available staff had undergone training ranging from basic to classified, and situation that Mr. John Mwanga, the Auditor General, also says has limited the department's capabilities to execute its mandate. And really, that is also something we are seeing, and really that maybe could not be a reason as to why when shootings happen, we take long for the final investigation results, and that is where maybe that could be coming from. Because if you look at 62%, this is above average, where people are saying we are seeing also most of this in maybe sector failing. Because if you look at 62%, trust me, this percentage is very, very much high, and that means that most of the people who are working in there are not qualified. And really, how did they get the employment? These are the questions also really we need to ask ourselves. And Mr. Andrew Mubiru, the acting director of the forensics department, told journalists that the forensic experts are postgraduate degree holders, and really that is something we are seeing that could be contradicting to what maybe the experts are saying. And let's look at maybe the specialist, what it does. The forensics unit has 4 basic laboratories, one of chemical, biological, and radiology tests, another for the study of questionable documents, one for criminal investigation, and one for cybercrime and digital forensics. And he has, however, emerged that the technical staff in some of those specialized units do not have the right qualification. And really, how do they get the papers? That is also really maybe how they get maybe accommodated in this facility is another area where we need to ask ourselves these questions. But really, I want to say these are areas that we need to also really ask ourselves. These are things that raise questions and maybe queries among the members of the public as far as the issues of these appointments is concerned, because people also really ask themselves how these people get their appointments, and that is also definitely maybe where people are asking themselves questions. At the end of the day, they also really want to see maybe how best these issues can be addressed, and that is something also we are saying. The department at the same time is dealing with the shortage of staff, with 42% of the approved positions unfulfilled, and that is also something we are seeing. And the report indicates that only 37% of the approved 64 positions have been filled in there. Mr. Mubiru, however, says although the positions are not filled as per the public service structures, it has been growing. That in 2019, where she reflects that in 2019 there were about 4 people, but now there are 28. Even two with PhDs also already being accommodated in there. And these are things that we also need to see. And now the students also really maybe go and study this forensics so that they can also be incorporated in these facilities. Because if you're talking about staffing gaps, maybe it could be resulting also from the issues of these maybe disqualified personnel. And the report further notes that the forensics unit had failed to dispatch 41% of its reports, that is of investigations, to those people who had contacted them in for this analysis. And the report also really partially blames the department's poor performance on underfunding from the government. And the government report says they extended only 20% of the department's required budget. And that means this also really could be affecting the final work of this report. Mr. Mwanga knows that he has since advised the concerned authorities that is to engage for purposes of ensuring the director is provided with adequate financing to fix most of its challenges. And Mr. Agre Wonyi, the accounting officer, that's of public authority, told journalists that he has been engaging the State House, that the Ministry of Finance, about the issues raised by the Attorney General, and this is also something we are seeing happening in there. And also in relation to storage, the report also further notes that the storage areas for samples and exhibits neither inadequate nor conducive for them to also go with these activities. And the size of the stores were notably small, and they were too also poorly aerated and lacking, that is, fume extraction systems to allow for step storage and also exhibits of these equipments. And besides these facts, this facility is lacking the spacing, also maybe the storage also really in there, where this also really is causing the issues of expiry of these drugs. And they really want to put that aside now as we continue with the discussion. I really don't know what you think about, but really you can also really share your opinions with us as far as that issue is concerned. I really want to also welcome those ideas on what you think, but really as we continue with those topics in this morning, I really want to say you can also really drop your comments on there. And more earlier on we are talking about Museveni also calling off the traders. And now the traders are seeking to attend a meeting that is with Uganda Revenue Authority, where he is intended to meet the president of the authorities from Uganda Revenue Authority. And this is also where the traders also now want to be part of that meeting with URA. And this is where a section of traders have asked their leadership in Kampala Capital City Authority under the umbrella body Kasita to write to President Museveni requesting him to allow the organization's leadership to also attend the April 24th meeting with URA there, and in the forthcoming meeting with Uganda Revenue Authority, officials and finance ministry will brief President Museveni about the new taxes also in there, and the traders also made the plea to Kasita during also a meeting held on Saturday that is to access the outcomes of the Friday meeting between the president and the leadership that is in State House, which prompted them to reveal to an end that is the strike which we did see also going on recently, and now the president also really called upon them now to put off the strike aside, and the traders unanimously say there is need to have a team of their representatives also taking part in that meeting together with the president and URA also in there. And Mr. Samu Wiru, another trader dealing in second-hand clothes, wondered why they are not part of also why they are not part of the crucial meeting, which is going to fix their final resolutions to their problems and their grievances, that is in relation to issues of paying their taxes in there. And the Kasita chairperson, that is Dr. Tadeus Musoke Nagenda, said the idea was good for also their involvement in this meeting, and the general meeting between President Museveni and all traders will be held on May 7th, where he will inform them of the final resolutions of the tax grievances, and that is also really what we are also going to be looking forward to. Also really maybe at that time we shall also really be telling you the final outcomes of that meeting. And traders on Saturday resolved to end that is the strike after 4 days and resume their businesses after the leadership also made President Museveni in there. And during the meeting, the traders raised different issues, that is to President Museveni, including rough enforcement of electronic physical receipting system, that is invoicing system, commonly abbreviated as IFRIS by URA, the unfair value added tax, withholding tax, and Chinese operating retail shops, and in downtown Kampala also a source also who offered also attended also raised these concerns about also their challenges in relation to the payment of that taxes there. But really you two can also share your opinions on what these traders need to also front in that meeting with URA as far as that issue is also really is concerned, and that is also something we also need to remind you of this early morning, and you also can share your opinions on what you think about. As some of the stories that we are seeing on the past morning, Dr. Biarugaba gives up on fight for NSF job is already another story that we are seeing on the past this morning. The former managing director of Uganda National Social Security Fund, NSF, Mr. Richard Biarugaba, said he will not appeal the court ruling in case where he had sought to overturn the appointment of his successor, Mr. Patrick Ayota, also really in there. And Dr. Biarugaba thanked the High Court for hearing him out, as well as the President for appointing him to that position where he served for 12 years. Also, that is something we are seeing on the past this morning. Really, we also really see we'll talk about this because really these are issues that we also want to see. Because if you look at the NSSF, this is where taxpayers' money is kept. Sometimes also really this is money for civil servants where it is chopped, so that also really when they retire they get their monies back. And this came hours after the head of Civil Division of High Court, Justice Musa Sekana, ruled out that the appointment of Mr. Ayota as the managing director was lawfully done by the line ministry of that is gender, also Miss Betty Amongi in there. And this is something also we want to say, maybe what do you think about people also sometimes also wanting to overturn maybe these challenges. And Mr. Biarugaba had been aggrieved by the decision of the gender minister to refuse to reappoint him as after he was duly recommended by the board. And speaking to journalists to Uganda on Friday, Mr. Amongi said the ruling has given the executive arm of government victory also really over the same matter there. But really you can also your opinions on what you think about these same issues that we are doing. It's early morning, but really, I don't know what you think about that, but you two can also really share your opinions and share your ideas with us this morning and really tell us maybe what needs to be done. And really that is something also really where we are going to be putting that discussion aside, but really you can also really maybe share your ideas with us. And that is also something we also really shall be reminding you of, where also really you need to also share your opinions and share your ideas with us, because really your idea could be maybe that could be also transforming the lives of other people, because really if you're told you do not share your ideas, and then definitely you could be lagging behind, which at the end of the day would be very, very much bad for you. But really keep your comments coming through and we shall be able to also really go through them. And really as we welcome you back from the weekend, I know you had quite a number of activities that could be maybe happening over the weekend, and some of you could be maybe attending weddings, maybe also attended other parties, and really others could have attended funerals, but really we say through all those, may God also really listen to your prayers and listen to your concerns. Other than that, also really that could be very, very much bad for them. And really, as we continue with the show, here, we also seeing some story about LDC grappling with big numbers amid low funding. Also, that is something we are seeing happening on the pass. And more recently, we did see the institute also really passing out a number of graduates who, after successfully completing the back courses in there, but really, now what we are seeing is on the pass this morning right now is the Law Development Center is grappling with growing increase of applicants and managing a big number amid less funding. Also, the institution director, that's Mr. Frank Nigel Otembo, actually confirmed this recently. Speaking at the 51st graduation ceremony on Friday, Mr. Otembo expressed worry that if there is increase in funding, there will also be an option for drastically reduce the admissions to the bar course, and that would also really be very, very much bad. And remember, recently we did see the pre-entry exams being scrapped, and this also led to the numbers increasing because this was also limiting a number of students also really enrolling for the bar course in there. But by the time this was scrapped off, a number of students can now actually apply and join the institute and for the bar course, and that is also coming with its own negative challenge, that is of the overwhelming population. He expressed the challenge posed by the increasing numbers enrolling for the postgraduate bar course, especially in ensuring the quantity that does not compromise quality. And Mr. Otembo Fada also said, with the liberation of legal education and the suspension of the pre-entry exams coupled with the popularity of law, the challenge of high numbers will get worse before it gets better. And this is also really where he is calling upon the funding gap also to be increased, so that also really the facility also really is maybe empowered. And he noted that human and material resources are stretched, and also universities keep graduating so many law students. Noted that last year alone they got, that is 3,000 applications also for the bar course, and only 1,600 were admitted to the institute there. And I really want to say maybe this facility also needs to be addressed, because we are seeing 3 also centers being established. That is for Kampala. Also we have one in Barara and another in Lira, and all these are admitting students after completing, that is the graduation, maybe graduating from universities. And today so many students are enrolling for the bar course, and this is because of its prestigiousness, because people want to be called lawyers, and this is where the numbers is increasing. And really I don't know what holds off in the future as far as the issue of the numbers is concerned. And speaking at the same graduation, Solicitor General Francis Atoke emphasized the imperative that's for LDC to effectively manage the surge in applications, that is also prioritize only those who receive the highest quality of education in there, so that also really those who maybe have not got the right qualifications are also left outside. And Justice Irene Muliagonja, the Court of Appeal judge, who is also the chairperson of Uganda Law Council, asked the graduates also really to have legal principles and ask them to always tell their clients the truth if they have a case to handle. And that is also really something also where we did see these authorities also being advised the graduates are really that is something we must say happened. We did see a number of students also really where we did see a number of students from West Nile also really graduating as part of that graduation list. But really we say congratulations to them, but really as they are coming out, they must make sure that they come to give service, not to have issues of money at first, because really sometimes, if at all, they come back also really with the aim of money, that would also really be very, very much bad. And really I want to encourage these new graduates also take up the issue of pro bono, that is also really providing free legal service, so that also really those who cannot afford the legal services can also really enjoy the advantage and also can celebrate their graduation too. That would also really be very, very good. And remember, without also graduating from the bar course, you do not qualify to also go in court and stand. That is also really maybe also stand, that is for a suspect, maybe in terms of also addressing a case. That is as far as that issue of graduating from the bar course is concerned. And among the top graduates also who are notable in this function is Joel Senyonyi, the leader of opposition in parliament. We did also see Rosemary Namayanja, the NRM secretary, also graduating in that graduation. Also we did see Hamhoud Hussein, the Masakara, also really graduating in there, where I thought of that is 868 lawyers graduated at the event of this year. And really these are numbers which we are saying are going to serve the country. And part of this actually from West Nile, we also did see a number of activists also graduating from the ceremony, and we congratulate all of them. And obtained from LDC shows, and statistics obtained from LDC shows that prior to the scrapping of the pre-entry exams for the bar course, they were only admitting that about 500 students, but after the requirement was scrapped off, they are now enrolling more than 2,000 students in each also 3 locations. That is also really that issue relation to that admission is concerned. And really, how are these going to be maybe helping society? But really, you also really can share your opinions with us on what maybe message you have for these graduates who are graduating from the LDC, also the back course in there, that would also really be very, very much good for them also to understand why there's need, also really for them to understand why they need to graduate at the end of the day. I really believe that is also quite good, such that also we get to know why there's need for graduation, also really for them to also come out and serve the nation, because if at all they not also really also address that, then definitely that would also really be very, very much bad. Other than that, we also really want to see also that also really very, very much paramount in there. And moving on, some of the stories that we are seeing on the part this morning as we continue with the show. RCC holds collection of unreceipted fees from traditional healers. That is also really some story that we are seeing on the part this morning. But really, why should we be collecting money from the traditional healers who are doing more disservice to the more than also really services? Because sometimes you realize that these traditional healers are also taking advantage of the maybe society. And the deputy resident city, that's commissioner in charge of Kimanya Kabonera municipality, that's Masaka city, Mr. Ahmed Katerega Musazi, has halted collection of unreceipted fees. That is from traditional healers operating in Masaka city. And according to Musazi, currently there is no recognized tax levied on traditional healers, and collecting of the money is also simply defrauding them. And that is also something we are seeing on the part this morning. And he said Masaka city authorities had come up with the tax on the shrines and in the region, but also security committee in which he chairs suspected it. This came after Salongo Kainga Chigu, the chairperson of traditional healers in Masaka sub-region, complained that some people from Masaka City Council were fleecing their money also from them. That is also really maybe as far as that issue is concerned. But really I believe collecting money from these people is also indirectly permitting them. And this is where we did see also strikes by the traders. The issue about them collecting money from them is actually why they say city council is being unfair to them. I really want to say maybe people need not to collect money from them. And 2017 authorities in Mubende municipality, Mubende district, had proposed a new tax that on traditional healers in the area who advertise on various radio stations. And that is also something we maybe should be coming to ourselves, maybe in the region here, because they realize that these traditional healers take advantage of the media very, very much, because they go here and there. Maybe at the end of the day, we also see them calling people, which is very, very much unfair. And traditional healers dealing in providing herbal medicine, we are supposed to pay that 30,000 as tax every year, while those who own shrines we are to pay that 100,000 yearly. And that is also something we want to see maybe addressed in there. As we put out that discussion to a halt, we shall be bouncing back and maybe expand on that discussion, but really you need to keep your comments coming on. As far as the issue of maybe getting money from these traditional healers is concerned, should we be taking money from these traditional healers is the question that maybe you should be answering to us this early morning. But we, first of all, heading for a short commercial breather, and when we bounce back, we shall be continuing with the show from there. Thank you.
West Nile TV, lighting up the region.
AFCON, all 52 games live only on StarTimes. StarTimes brings you Africa's biggest football tournament, AFCON 2023 live in English and Luganda commentary. Starting January 13th, don't miss Mo Salah, Sadio Mane or Nana. Lead the hunt for gold as they take center stage. Renew your StarTimes subscription today and enjoy all 52 matches in HD live on Sports Premium and Sanyuka Prime. StarTimes, the official broadcaster of AFCON 2023. This message is powered by Techno, the official sponsor of AFCON 2023.
Nile TV, lighting up the region.
All right, welcome back from that short commercial break. We are back and to continue with the show. And remember, earlier on we are discussing about the issue of picking license money from the traditional healers. What does this mean? Does it mean that we are going to be accepting their work? Definitely, I do not know, but really you can share your opinions and what you think that maybe this issue may also really impact. That is in terms of also the service delivery and maybe how the operations may also really be affecting the kind of people that they're going to be serving. And really for many years, various leaders have called for regulation of activities, that is of traditional healers, accusing many of duping the gullible clients, and that is also something I was talking about earlier on this morning. And in many districts, especially in central Uganda, some residents spend most of their time visiting the shrines, and they are forced to be part of hard-earned money and domestic animals, among other valuables, in the name of pleasing their gods. And this is actually something that we have also been noticing, where people are defrauded of their goods, and I really want to say, maybe if at all local governments do not pick money from these shrines, that would be very, very good one for them. And in the past decade, police in districts of that's Luero, Chotera, Rakai, Luengo, Mukono, Buhikwe, Masaka, and Kayunga have recorded several cases involving traditional healers who have raped women and extorted money from unsuspecting clients under the guise of maybe giving them the spirits from their bodies. Also, that's something also we did see happening. And in Arua City, we also did see some of the leaders championed by the mayor for Central Division, Mozaid Kemis, also really putting up a fight against the traditional healers, where a number of their traditional shrines also really were destroyed after it was maybe realized that these people were doing a lot of harm, and we are also seeing maybe destroying people's marriages. And that is also something we did see some few months ago happening in the Arua City, and last year we also did see this going on, and this has actually helped maybe calm the situation. And most of the traditional healers also did find their way running away from Arua City, because some of them who were arrested also scared the rest, and they had to flee away from Arua City. And today there's some bit of sanity as far as this issue is concerned, and really that is something also maybe if I talk about that would also really be very, very good one for them. But as we continue with the show, I really want to remind you that so many things happened over the weekend, and really if I'm to maybe remind you of some events in the world of sports, there were excitement, maybe others were also really jubilating, and other people got shocking results. But really, I want to say all those we shall be giving you in the last hours of the meeting of the show, and that is before we get to give you the news bulletin. And remember, as always, we summarize this show with all what is happening in the world of sports. But really, before we get to give you that, as so many issues are happening, and that so many issues have also really been reported on the papers this morning. And remember, there is an outbreak of the disease called red eye, and that is where also really we need to be very, very much serious, and we need to be cautious of the disease, because if at all we do not protect ourselves from the disease, we may also really get ourselves contracting that disease, which would also really be very, very bad for us to also really maybe get this disease. And really that is where also really I want to call upon people, first of all, to avoid issues of handshake, because handshakes is where this disease can be transmitted from one person to another, because after getting the maybe greeting somebody, where next are you going to be touching? We do not know. And after touching the eye, definitely you are also really going to be contracting this disease. And then secondly, maybe let's use sanitizers and wash our hands. Maybe if at all we are going to be also really getting these facilities, and avoid touching our eyes. This is only another way doctors are maybe advising people to also really avoid these issues of this disease, because red eye is emerging in some places. Schools are already closing. More so in central Uganda, some of the schools have already closed because of this outbreak of the disease, and that means also that disease could be spreading also really as far as Arua City is concerned. And really we look forward to having a discussion with medical experts very soon. Also really we shall be also really inviting the doctors to come and tell us how best we need to also really maybe protect ourselves from that disease, because that disease is very much dangerous, as we have been told. But really to also really protect ourselves from that disease is also really something that maybe if at all we talk about, that would also really be very, very good. And really that brings us to summary of that discussion. Now let's see what is happening in the world of sports and happening in the world of rugby, where we want to start up our discussions with. In Arua City recently, on Friday, we did see training of about 25 teachers, that is from Arua District and Arua City, who actually were trained with the basics in rugby, right from theory theory and practical, and now these teachers are expected, and these are mostly the games teachers who were expected now to go on and also pass on the knowledge that they acquired to the learners, so that we see the game of rugby being revived in West Nile Sub-region. And remember, rugby is a game that we have seen many West Nile players playing at, that is at the national level and the international level, but in the region the game is still very much down, and most of our emphasis and factors have also been placed, that is in the two games of netball and athletics plus football. These are the games where people are mostly focusing on. Yet rugby is still a sport, and in West Nile, on a sad note, we only have one rugby club, that's the Nile Leopards, and these have actually maybe brought also really hope that we are going to be reviving this game in West Nile Sub-region. Let's first see maybe what the stakeholders in are saying as far as that training did go on Friday at Kokopam in Arua City.
In a bid to promote rugby as sport in West Nile Sub-region right from the grassroots level, Nile Leopards Club, the only rugby club in West Nile Sub-region, through support from Uganda Rugby Union, trained about 30 teachers drawn from several schools across Arua City and Arua district with the basics in the game. The teachers who got trained in the basics of the game are both from primary and some few secondary schools, who were expected to pass on the skills to the rest of their colleagues and the learners was to develop the game in West Nile Sub-region. Some of the games teachers who got the opportunity for the one-day training appreciate the initiative and promise to go back and put the skills they obtained in practice.
Today I found that it's not all about what I was thinking. At least this game can really make one to gain a lot of strength. It also helps one to be fit. Like this game, I thought it was only for men. The way I used to view it on TVs, it was really, it uses a lot of force, but today I've realized that women can also play rugby, and the skills which we learned today, we are going to put them into practice. We are going to train our children so that they'll be able to compete and move far with the rugby.
This is my first time to have enjoyed a game of rugby. Matches, it's my first time, but I've been watching people playing over the TVs. I've been wondering how this game is to be played. I used to think that it is a game that needs a lot of strength, energy, bodybuilding. But as per the training, I am so impressed that this is something which everyone can do. As per now, my focus is to go back and to train the kids.
Asiku Dennis, the president of Nile Leopards Rugby Club, says the initiative of training the games teachers is for the development of the game within the schools right from the lower levels of education.
And with this effort, we still have one rugby club in West Nile. So this initiative of developing rugby both in schools and also communities, it is to increase the awareness of the sports in the region and also to increase competitiveness, so that we have 2, 3, 5 rugby clubs coming up in this region and also schools competing aggressively in this sport. And if you look at the statistics in Uganda, almost all the clubs in Uganda have players in West Nile, and the players are shining. Even globally, they are competing. And recently we have all seen the statistics in the national team. Uganda rugby cranes, they have participated in World Cup recently. They have been in all African games in Ghana. Rugby came with gold medals. These are the progress we are talking about.
Meanwhile, Ronald Chandia, the sports officer of Arua City, implored the teachers who got trained to pass on the knowledge to the learners at their respective schools.
I think today you have the power, you have the ability, you can perfect in the games of rugby. Congratulations. Now that you have now got the skill, these skills will not only be for you. Why these people have traveled all along from there to Arua City? It is to give the skill to you, you also transfer this skill to the learner. And that is the main purpose.
Yairo Kasasa, the Chief Executive Officer of Uganda Rugby Union, who was one of the facilitators of the training, advises those who hail from the region with the experience to come back and develop the talents of those who are at home for the game to grow in West Nile Sub-region.
What we need to do is to call the old boys from Arua in Kampala to come and support the home district in order to develop. There is a lot of potential because we have had some players from Arua into our national teams. We just need to make sure that they come back. The current captain of the Sevens, Ian Monyani, is from this region. Okay, of the sevens team that has been all over the place. So with such ambassadors, those are the ones who are going to make sure that the game resurfaces.
Well, we need to also give priority. But other than that, let's now see what is happening in the world of football. We did see going on, and on Friday we did between and Barakara City. City won this game by a goal to nil, and this was a Yumbe derby, I believe, and that game was also really won by Barakara City. And on Saturday we did see Zeu Central beating Padea Rising Stars by 2-1, as Nebi Central drew with Alpha Rising Stars 0-0, and Kochi Yaban was able to beat Adjuman Tankos by 2-1, as Koboko Rising Stars was able to also lose their games by 5-2, that is to Tipsha. That is really another Koboko derby in there, as Odramachako FC also did play against that Moyo Town Council. The game was also really was not played, as Moyo Town Council failed to honor the fixture in there. And on Sunday we also did see games going on. That is Pakwachi Youngsters beating Kuluva Rainbow by 2-1. Nyahama also really did play with Pakwachi Super Eagles, and the game ended 0-0. We also did see Paida Black Angels beating Paida United and really taking advantage of the derby that is in Zombo there by winning that goal by 1-0. Also really we did see Araka FC losing, also beating Nyai Youngsters by 3-0, as Yumbe Hospital also was able to beat, that is Total, was also really able to lose their games in the hands of Total FC there by 2-1, also 2-0 there. Also really these are some of the games that we did see happening in there. And in big league we also did see games going on, as Boma was able to play with Black Power and the game ended 3-3, as also really we did see Ginger North also really losing in the hands of Kataka by 2-1, as Onduparka FC was able to pick a crucial away win that is in the hands of Karo Karunji there, and the game ended 2-1. Lugazi was also really able to beat that Chinda Boys by 2-1. Police was able to draw with Mbaro Heroes, and this is in the struggle that is promotion next season, and the game ended 1-1 in there. And Chigezi Home Young Boys were also really able to beat Young Elephants by 1-0 there, and that means that Police still remains on top of the log, as Lugazi comes in the second place, as Kataka comes in the third place. Meanwhile, in the fourth place is Mbali Heroes, and Onduparka comes in the fifth place in there, and those are the top 5 teams in the Startimes Uganda Premier League. Also, moving away from that, also really in the world of English Premier League, we did see games happening, and maybe if I can be able to remind of some of the games that we did see happening. And on Saturday we did see a game that was between Brentford and Luton Town, and the game ended 5-1. Brentford was able to win that game there, as Burnley was able to beat, that is Sheffield United, by 4-1, as Wolves also really lost in the hands of Arsenal there 2-0, sorry. And these are some of the games that we did see happening. And on Saturday and today we shall be seeing also games going on, and really these are some of the games that we did see. And yesterday in the FA semi-finals there was a game that scared many people. That was between Manchester United and Coventry, which ended 3-3, and Manchester United, after leading, that is for the game up to 70th minute, and Coventry was able to maybe also equalize all these goals, and the game ended in penalties, as Manchester was able to go through in penalties in there. And this is as far as that issue is concerned. And in the English Premier League, the table is still changing here and there, and Arsenal comes in the first place. Manchester United, as Liverpool, is in the third place, as Manchester City, with the game in hand, is also really in the third place there. But really we shall be also really following up on those discussions, and hopefully we hope you had a wonderful time. Maybe also really as we come to a closer of the show, I want to also really thank whoever watched us right from the time we began until this hour of the morning. We say thank you so much. Have yourselves a great day and a great week as well, and we shall be bouncing tomorrow for the Tuesday edition of the show. And my name is Farish Majid. Stay tuned for the news bulletin that is coming through shortly with Mukulia Lawrence.